I need better lighting in this room.
All right, we're recording.
Okay,
Welcome
got it.
to welcome, Andrew Dowling, or as the audience might know him as Scoochie. Um, Welcome to the podcast, HASSDISCUSSES, and this gentleman right here, known him for a while since about the fifth grade, because we went to that we both kind of joined, like the school at the fifth grade. I don't know if you remember that
hmm
shit. But we were just talking about Giveon, and by the way, he's a musician, and we'll get to that later. But let's start this off talking about your knowledge of Giveon or someone that sounds like him.
Right. It's actually very lacking. We were just talking about earlier. I mean, like just like the mainstream songs were like the only things I really knew. And then my friend Brennan, he like kind of introduced me to like more Giveon songs, and he gave me like this like big list of like songs that I should check out. And oh crap, I think it was like Heartbreak Anniversary. I think it was something like The Beach, something like that. Just a few songs that like he put me on to. I put on the playlist. So if you ever get the chance to check out Giveon, definitely would recommend it. Outside
Yeah,
of the big mainstream songs, he has a few bangers.
yeah, he's songs besides 2:30. What you mean by name? But like, bro, like that
Right.
music video though, like that's so. Did you see the part of the music video? Because as soon as he comes in the music video, Drake, there's a shot of Drake's car and an owl pops up out of the front of the car. Like a little figurine owl pops up, and the logo of the car
Did
has an
not know
owl
that.
on it. And like, I'm obsessed with Drake, so that was a moment for me seeing that. Like, yeah, I just love Drake and shit like that, and I love how he like low key puts me on. He's low key the unofficial. You ever heard of the term that he's the unofficial A&R?
Yeah, bro, I've heard it.
Yeah, like I love that term because that shows how influential one artist can really be, and such
Right.
and such. And I love big artists that fuck with the underground. You know what I'm saying? Like another example of that would be Trippy Red, and how Trippy Red really fucks with the underground. I'm not talking about like
hmm
Mario Jude is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how he'll do a song with like Xavier Wolf, who's an underground legend, with the Hollow Squad, and or doing a song or signing like K Swab or something, and how he still does songs with people like Chris King. Are you familiar with the people I'm talking about?
A couple of them, yeah. Like
Yeah,
definitely if I heard like a couple of their songs, I would definitely like recognize them.
yeah. So shouts out to artists that are mainstream but still mess with the
hmm
underground.
I
And
appreciate those. It's like shows like a sense of like humility. Like
what's
even
an
if you have that
example of
big fan
that for
base.
you, that you know of big artists that fuck with underground artists?
hmm Um, Off the top of my head, there's been a couple cases where I think either Kendrick or the one person I was mentioning to you, Quadeca, both of them I think have like kind of like featured or been a feature on like a more underground artist and like built their fan base up. And I think there's like a couple of cases where like Kendrick will like send out like a little shout out or like kind of promote like you know
Yeah,
rappers or artists with like lower fan bases. And like I said, I really like I don't know, like it shows like a sense of like humility and like something that shows their character. It's like even with that big fan base and even with all those really good songs, you can still build someone else up to where they can get to where you are, and I really like that. But
what I would like to ask about Quadeca, like who is that?
mm-hmm,
And because
right,
you're really putting me on, because I'm not gonna act like
yeah,
you ever meet someone where you introduce them an artist, and they're like, I've heard of them, and you ask
yeah,
them to, like name a song of them. Like I
and
hate
they're
those type of
like,
people. Those people keep me up at night. You know, like the people who aren't afraid to say I'm ignorant. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like the reason I got into music production is, and I'll explain this to you, and I'm starting to explain this to a lot of people. The reason I got into
mm,
music production is to like stop being ignorant to the music process and how everything's done. You know what I'm saying? So, who has Quadeca put you on to, or who's your favorite couple Quadeca collaborations or songs?
mm-hmm. So Quedeca, I think I first ran into him like in 2017 or like 2018. I was just like on YouTube and I saw like one of his videos. It wasn't even anything really like his music related. I think he was doing an impression of other rappers
Oh yeah,
and
you
like
said he used to be a YouTube rapper.
he used to
What
be a
does that
YouTube
mean? Like
rapper.
a YouTube person who kind of shows his process in videos, like a
It
little
was a
tutorial guy.
combination. hmm So it was a combination of him posting his own songs and like music videos on YouTube, and also him showing his process and him doing like other like rap related content.
Yeah.
And so in 2017, I think he made a video where he was like imitating other rappers, and I like really enjoyed it. And like his flow was like really good imitating the other rappers. So I was like, all right, I want to see like what his own flow's like. And so I went into his channel and I found songs like from like 2014. He was like a little prepubescent child making rap songs, and they're actually pretty good. So I was like, okay.
Okay. Let's ask. I don't know if you've seen these videos floating around. I don't know if you follow Jack Harlow, but have you seen the young Jack Harlow videos when he's like 13 or 14?
No, I heard about it. I need to check it out.
So he
I
has,
heard about
you
it.
know, any popular song from 2012 to 2014 or 2011 to 2014. Like I'm talking about like Started from the Bottom or Backseat Freestyle by Kendrick. He's done like freestyles over those beats, and they're so good. Like, but the thing is like you could tell it's just some little kid coming up with some funny ass lines. Like he'll be like,
Right.
wake up and go hard, morning wood, some type of shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of bars that he would come up with. And I mean, I don't know if a 22-year-old rapper would say that in a line.
If you did, then please put me on to that rapper, because I feel like a lot of people need to be putting some funny bars into their songs. Stop being so serious.
Yeah, like that's why I fuck with Freddie Dredd, because he mixed in a very dark genre known as funk. He is he's able to do that hardcore nasty shit, you know. He sounds like, you know, I don't know, but he can also do that sort of comedy rap and have those old sort of Shotgun Willie-esque samples and stuff like that. I don't know. I know you don't really like listen to Freddie Dredd, but I'm just pointing out an example of how one artist can become very successful when you don't necessarily only do hardcore stuff. You know.
Some of variety.
What's an artist that either does comedy rap or a mixture of comedic rap or music, but also is able to do mainstream sounding serious music?
Oh, easy. Lil Dicky. That's the first thing that came off the mind.
Yeah.
First thing that came to mind.
Yes.
Literally, like he'll throw in the most like absurd, just like out of the blue line.
He did
like
donation,
right after.
He did a little donation post. That was
He did?
No, like about like in the middle of the summer, and he was like wearing nothing but a sock over his dick, and he was like,
oh my gosh,
he was like it was around the time. It was around the time of the process. So he was like, you know, donate to such and such. And I just love that. Like someone sent me that, and I was like, it's surprising, but you know, that's the point, and I fuck with that.
Right.
Did you get a chance to watch Dave? The Lil Dicky TV show.
No, I don't know too much about Lil Dicky. I just saw again, just like a couple like of his songs and a couple of videos. I checked them out real quick and then just kind of like moved on after that. But I think I have like a few songs on my playlist.
Like Save That Money, that's a fire one, but also like, and Freaky Friday is like a really poppin' mainstream song, but it's so fucking hilarious, and it's mainly popular because of the hilarious music video.
Exactly.
Yeah, so shouts out to that reference and such. But now let's get into your music. I kind of asked you what do you listen to, and you were like naming a lot of more chilled out, smooth artists like, you know, Joji and I forget who else you named, but like
J. Cole, Kendrick, Drake, like those types of people.
So how would you describe your music to someone who's never listened to it?
Like I mentioned earlier briefly, it's all about like variety, and I feel like that's the main thing about my music. It's like coming up the gate, I knew that I wanted to post like a big variety of songs in like different styles, and so really like song to song I could tell you what I would like, what my music sounds like. But like for a broad thing, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of like very different. And so my main styles that I go for are definitely like I sound like J. Cole and like Mac Miller mainly on my songs. That's just like the way my flow is, and that's just like the topics I try and go for. But you know, all my beats I kind of find like online right now. I don't have anybody that really make me beats, and so I'll look up rapper type beat. And so when I look up that type beat, that's mainly the type of rapper that I'm gonna sound like on that song. So I've looked up like, you know, like Daniel Caesar type beat. I looked up Joji type beat.
You know.
Mm-hmm. definitely. He's like probably like top 10 on my list right now.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I
just
felt with
like
him.
mhm. Just like Daniel Caesar, Mac Miller, Kendrick, even a Kanye beat. So like right now, I'm kind of like finding what my fan base likes. But if I were mainly to, tell someone, here's what my songs sound like, I would definitely go for like a J. Cole, Mac Miller, because those are the types of songs that I'm most proud of.
Yeah, well, what I'd say about chill rap or lo-fi, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is that it's
Hmm.
not gonna die because there's
Definitely not.
always an audience for it. You know what I mean? Or
Hmm.
any boom bap based form of rap music. Um, and when you do something based in something that will never die, there is a guarantee you will have a fan base or someone who will flock to it. For
Right.
instance, like the Ade Hakim guy I showed you, like he's been
Hmm.
doing music like that for a while, and the majority of Earl Sweatshirt's new sound comes from his sound because Earl Sweatshirt collaborated with him on some rap songs tracks
Right.
and ended up not giving him and his brother credit on one of the productions, but that was mainly the label's
Dang.
fault. So fuck Earl Sweatshirt's label, and I'm not saying that out of ignorance. I am saying that based on 40-minute videos put out by not 41-minute videos. Ade Kim put out like a 40-minute video
Yeah.
explaining the situation, and that's
Mm.
how I found him because I was like in the Earl Sweatshirt rabbit hole, and then I love Earl Sweatshirt, and but he has another one of those fan bases who thinks that they're like, it's the same fan base that like thinks that My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is the greatest album of all time. Know it all. I hate them. Um, like, what fan bases do you completely despise?
Hmm. Um. Ooh.
You got to be honest with me here. Like, I
yeah.
don't. You got to give an unfiltered answer, and I want you to come at someone's neck, please.
You're probably gonna hate me for this, but you might not. But the Eminem fan base,
I
I
hate
don't know.
Eminem. I'm gonna tell you this right now. If
You hate
Eminem
him?
asked me to interview him, I would say no.
I don't know if I would go that far. I actually do like some of his songs. I have like a good majority, but the fan base just like he'll say like I don't know like it's raining cats and dogs, and they'll spend like an hour analyzing how he used alliteration and he used onomatopoeia, and I'm just like, all right, like calm down, right? And I'm like, nah, bro. Like it's like he's good. Don't give me that, and like he's definitely like on the top of some
I
lists.
find
But
more
I feel like
meaning in hearing Playboy Cardi than Eminem.
well, some hot takes right there. I don't know about that. We're gonna have to.
I'm completely
Uh,
saying shit to piss people off.
I'm gonna say I'm changing my answer. The Playboy Cardi fan base. I
Okay,
don't
well,
know.
yeah, I have a problem with Playboy Card. I love Playboy Cardi. I listen to him a lot, and I love Juice WRLD, and I
Hmm.
listen to him a lot. But both of them have ruined music
You think so?
because of the how do I say this? And I was analyzing this to myself in the car. Is that when a up and coming artist tries to emulate someone as big as Playboy Cardi or Juice WRLD, or any mainstream huge sound that is new and popping and just
Right.
formed, okay, you're going nowhere.
That's very true.
You know what I mean? Like if you're just gonna make shit sounding like Juice WRLD, people are just gonna listen to it and say, "Oh, you're
That's Juice
inspired by
WRLD.
Juice WRLD."
Hmm.
Next fucking person, okay? You know what I
Right.
mean? And that's why like if you're gonna go into the industry or fucking making music
Yeah.
in general or doing any form of art, what you should not do is like let's say a film. Let's take another example when it comes to like either a film or some shit. Let's say a
Hmm.
filmmaker is an up and coming indie filmmaker. Okay, no indie filmmaker is gonna go make a movie about about 50 superheroes coming together in order to stop one
Exactly.
guy who wants to kill a lot of people because he thinks depopulation is good.
Right.
Nobody is gonna want to see that as an indie film, or nobody as an indie filmmaker is gonna make that. No indie filmmaker is gonna go somewhere. If an indie filmmaker wants to go somewhere, they're gonna make some innovative project about like
Yeah.
interesting, some personal topic, some like Florida Project type of shit, where some like some like person that works at like Disney World is like trapping and shit out of a motel. You know what I'm saying? That's some
Right.
avant-garde, different sounding, realistic shit. And what I'm saying is you can directly apply what I just said to music. If you're getting into music, you either have this make something that has had an audience for 15 plus year, meaning either chill boom bap type of shit
Mm-hmm.
or lo-fi type of sounding stuff, or you could definitely apply that to a sort of a horrorcore type of thing, because that's been going on for 15 to 20 plus
Right.
years. You could apply that to let me think what else, let's go out of pop and shit, like synthwave or some shit like that been going on. You could either like resurrect a dead genre, but what you shouldn't fucking do is do what sounds like it, and don't do what like 24K Golden. Okay, he's went number 1 on Spotify or some shit or and something like
Don't
that.
know how.
But then his new album sold like 22K,
Mm-hmm.
but his single Mood hit 1 billion streams, and that's
Right.
because he sounds directly like Juice World. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. That's my rant on generic sounding music.
You know, I'm right with you. I just feel like finding a generic, no, not generic, finding a unique style is like near impossible, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of like, you know, personal development to really find,
Yep.
you know, yourself through music. I commend anybody who can like come up with a, you know, unique style. I feel like even DaBaby, I don't know, that is so random and so generic, but I feel like even DaBaby has a unique enough style to where anybody who comes after him will be like, oh, that's DaBaby. And like I feel like, you know, like Ski Mask, you know, Uzi, like people like them have unique enough styles to where anybody after them will be like placed under their name. And I feel like that's like one of my biggest goals if I could ever achieve that. Just like being unique enough or good enough to
Have
where
a
people
type
be
beat
like, oh,
made
that's
after
Scoochie.
you. To have a type
Right.
beat made after you.
Have a Scoochie type beat. I'm checking Google every single day until
Yeah.
Scoochie type beat comes up.
Yes.
Somebody will make it for me.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
That's what
HASSDISCUSSES will put me on the map.
Of course, I'll try my best. That's why I got to support these local artists. But
Right.
yeah, any artist can aspire to have like be categorized. I think artists would rather be categorized stylistically as opposed to categorized by one thing, meaning a track or a controversial event.
Right.
What artist that is categorized by either one song or event, negative or positive, do you mess with? Meaning one-hit wonders that you think have a really solid discography that's overlooked.
Gotta think about this. I don't know. I kind of don't dive into one-hit wonders, but there's this one song. Hold on, I'm gonna have to look this up because I'm gonna butcher his name terribly.
That's fun.
I think it's like Hatchback something. Hold up, let me see this real quick. Yeah, so his name is Cochise, and the song is called Hatchback. And I've never heard of that artist before. If you, what's it called? I don't know. I just saw that song like on TikTok, I think, or something like that.
That's what I feel about it.
I'm gonna mess with this
You
song.
ever heard of the lo-fi producer El Dre?
Oh, that sounds really familiar.
He did the Steven Universe lo-fi version.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So like I've been following his channel, and he's like done so much like YouTube videos. He's a YouTube producer, but he also drops awesome lo-fi albums and just, you know, stuff like that. And he you know, I mess with his content a lot, but like everybody will know him or see him as that guy who made a Steven Universe theme song lo-fi thing, and that kind of pissed me off. But the good thing about him is that he's like, okay, how this Steven Universe thing popped off, so I'm gonna do one for Gravity Falls and all that other shit.
Did it not go as well? Because I haven't heard of it.
Ah, man,
Like the Gravity Falls one. I heard about the Steven Universe one.
I could play that.
Got it.
Or maybe I'll just listen to it after. But like, maybe you should rap over that.
Ooh, who knows?
Ooh.
New preview of the Scoochie song coming up next.
Ooh. Let me just skip to it. It's too
Actually, not that
spooky.
bad.
It's not really like lo-fi. It's supposed to be like interesting. Not interesting.
Right.
It's supposed to be like it's supposed to be semi-positive. Like I don't think lo-fi can be done good when the melody's like
Spooky.
spooky. Like
That's why the Steven
honestly,
Universe one
someone
did so
should have.
good.
Yeah, because that's just a chill. But if someone were to do like, I think someone could make a really good horrorcore beat with a Gravity Falls thing. It's not like entirely spooky, but like if you pitch the main melody down and like, put it in the equalizer and make it sound like it's in a different room, put fucking a lot of reverb on it, and add like I'm just, you know what I mean? Like someone,
Right.
I feel like you could do it a way different way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm ignorant to J. Cole. I like his music a lot. Not really at all, actually. I barely listen to it. But like,
Fair enough.
Yeah, like I just couldn't get into it. And I call him Diet Kendrick. Anyways,
Oh no.
But what J. Cole songs do you like?
Oh, literally, you can name like any song, and I've either listened to it or have it on the playlist, or both. I have what's it called? My favorite song. Actually, I wouldn't call it my favorite. Like one of my most appreciated songs is a song called "For Your Eyes Only." It's like 8 minutes and 42 seconds long, and I have the whole thing memorized by heart. All I need is the beat, and I can do the
let's go
whole
into
8
that.
minutes and 42 seconds. You said let's go into that?
No, and I'm not saying like record it, but what other tracks do you like? Are you obsessed to the brim to and have memorized?
Don't by Bryson Tiller for some reason.
Oh, because that was the Musically days. Everybody had that.
Right, yeah, everybody.
Oh my god.
Right, I have that memorized. Like all I need is the beat, and I'm just literally saying the whole song. So don't. I have For Your Eyes Only. Look Over Your Shoulder by Kendrick and Busta Rhymes.
Dude,
yes,
I
have that
memorized.
memorized.
Jackson 5.
Really?
Yeah.
I knew it sounded familiar. I was like, I really like that though. Like the sample he used in the beginning.
I was actually let's go on a rabbit hole about Michael Jackson. Are you familiar with the theory that he was chemically castrated as a child and how he can never fully develop testosterone because his parents chemically castrated him? That the doctor who killed him learned that he was chemically castrated as a child and how he never really had a childhood. That is a very controversial opinion.
Never heard that.
But I'd advise anybody to look into it because I think a lot of people give I think Michael Jackson is probably not that good of I don't know, but I've heard some, everybody's heard sketchy things, but people got to realize that like he was probably put in a situation where he there's no other option to go insane. I don't know if you've ever like looked, but he literally paid people to construct a supermarket where he could shop in with actors to be in the supermarket, and they'd pay the actors not to say like, oh my god, is that Michael Jackson? Because every time he go to a supermarket, people would be like, holy shit, it's Michael Jackson. So he had like this whole like fucking amusement park, and he was like, I don't know, like, and people would like faint at his shows, and like people would pass out at his shows. Like that's I think it would be one of the most scariest things ever to experience the life of Michael Jackson.
Okay, like I feel like having fame that early, and like I've heard a bunch of different like conspiracies and just different stories in general. I never got like the real true one, but it seemed like you said, you didn't really have that much of a childhood. So like not having that and just always constantly being in the public eye, I could never imagine that. Like having it later on in your adolescence, that's fine, but
like you're having like right now you're just having fun putting out as much as you can.
Exactly.
And
not being forced by anybody.
Everything you say, imagine everything you say is being monitored by the amount of people that live in states and cities. You know what I mean? Everything.
Right.
That's a scary thing to go around thinking, and I could understand why you'd want to fully unplug. I don't think he could have. I mean, maybe he could have. And maybe that's what he's doing. Maybe he's alive and he's unplugged. That's really what I think. That's what I think. Like, if I were that big and it got to that point, like, it would be so tempting to just like buy an island in like, the Philippines or some shit, like a private island in the Philippines, and like live in a bunker, you know, with like a couple homies. You know what I'm saying? Like just like I don't know.
Michael Jackson and Tupac in the bunker.
Yeah,
Got
yeah,
it.
for sure. With who else? With Harambe.
Hey, it's a
Yeah.
lit bunker, yo. Let me know where the island's at.
Oh my God. If you're watching, comment down below the address. That's the
Shout out Michael
never mind.
Jackson.
Shout out Michael Jackson. I'm a bit. He's my homie. He's been trying to get on the podcast. He's an up and coming artist trying to get on the podcast. Anyways, why when was the first time you ever touched a microphone to make music?
Like an actual mic, or just like anything that records?
Anything that records to make music.
My first memorable time was actually in seventh grade, I think, was my first time actually recording a rap. Like I've made, pretty garbage songs before that, like in 6th and 5th grade, but 7th grade for a science project. I don't know if you remember, but we had to make a song about photosynthesis. And I took that project very seriously for some reason. And the song, what is it? Wow. Logic. It's a song by Logic. And he's like, oh,
Okay,
God. Oh my God.
I've only heard Logic's recent album.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, that song, whatever that is. I don't know why I'm blanking. But anyways, I recorded the song about photosynthesis to that. And then, like, Mr. Hope, like AGW, and like Miss King, like they went crazy about it. They're like, oh, this is really good, or like that. Like, you should post it on
in middle
YouTube.
school, didn't I heard from you, or you were talking about, or someone was talking about you, and you were talking about like I want to be a Christian rapper and do all that. Are you still that, or is that?
So
just
Christian
like
rapper?
Is that just like something you thought of and not doing anymore, or is it something you ever want to like, or currently are doing? Because I don't really hear that much. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. So first and foremost, I take my faith pretty seriously. I got baptized like last December. Well, this December, technically, if you want to look at it that way. And so being a Christian rapper has always been a goal for me, but the way I tackled it was different than what I imagined at first. At first, I thought I would literally just be making like Christian songs, whether it be like, like gospel, or whether it be like, like your Lecrae or Andy Mineo type songs. But for me, being a Christian rapper so far has just consisted of not cursing in my songs, not talking about any, like overly explicit content if I don't need to, not, diving into, subjects that don't really apply to me. Actually, no, that's ironic. I do, but not in the matter of like, oh, I'm going to be, with women and shooting people and guns, whatever like that. I actually take, certain deep topics and I rap about that stuff. So I don't know if you know, but I don't curse at all. So you won't see that in HASSDISCUSSES. And I don't curse in my songs either. And so, you can look through, you won't see a single curse word, single, bad remark or anything. And that kind of makes it difficult to make songs. Because like where other rappers can kind of just like, drop an F-bomb and they can't think of anything or stuff like that. I actually have to like think about what I'm saying every single syllable and like make it enjoyable at the same time. It
requires like you're setting yourself up to put more effort into music,
Right.
And I fuck with that.
Mm-hmm.
That means
some of my songs get listed explicit on Spotify, but only because I'll reference like, drinking like one time, or I'll reference, or I'll reference, like shooting one time, and then they'll be like, oh, explicit. So I'm like, all right then. So.
Damn. Yeah, so
I mean
that's a good like description. Really, I want to check out your music and stuff like that. And that's kind of a question that like I was like asking about because I had that in the back of my head, and bro, like, and I've known you since like the 5th grade, but like, where were you? Like, we both kind of went to the same school at the same time at the same year. Where were you? Were you like living in? Did you move from somewhere to Delaware before the 5th grade or something like that?
Yeah. So I'm initially from PA. And it's a place called like Norristown. It's like 10 minutes like north of like Philly. And so I grew up there for like the majority of my early childhood. But I was like bouncing back and forth from there to my grandma's house in Philly. And that like I went to my grandma's instead of going to preschool. And she taught me like, like higher level like math concepts and whatnot, or whatever. I don't know. It was kind of crazy. Helped me get ahead. But I went to a school from kindergarten to first grade, transferred to a charter school in PA from second grade to fourth grade. And then after fourth grade, came here to Delaware. And I've been here since.
How'd you know Matt?
I knew Matthew because he actually, what's it called? Matthew was in PA with me before he came to Delaware. And so Matthew Mercado, huh?
You still talk with him or know him now?
Yeah. What's it called? He wished me happy birthday. My birthday was April 12th. He said he had a gift waiting for me. It's been like over a week though. I don't know if the gift's actually coming, but I talked to him. I play basketball with him sometimes. He doesn't play PS4 anymore.
Cause like in the basketball court, you were that short kid that like was real fast and shit. You know, remember that?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, like recess, bro. Like those are some times.
I was taking pride on it, but Matthew,
gotta have
what's
that
it called?
short kid on your team. That's like
you have to.
That's like
the point guard is the most important position in basketball.
Yeah, I'm just like I'm in the paint. Okay, let's just say that about.
Okay, I respect it. Big body Mike.
Yeah.
But so I met Matthew when I was like 6 or 7, and it's because his dad and my dad knew each other from like work or something like that, and we became like really close. We went to like the same church and stuff like that, and then he moved in 4th grade to Delaware, and then the year after, when I was in 5th grade, I moved to Delaware, and I actually moved 2 houses down from him in Delaware, and so that was kind of cool. But he moved in like 9th grade or 10th grade. He's in Wilmington now. So, yeah.
So what's your address? No, I'm joking. All right.
HASSDISCUSSES.
I'm joking. So what, you kind of briefly touched on how you sort of like tapped into music a little bit in middle school, but now you're older. You're
right.
Later in high school, the late high school years of Scoochie.
Mm-hmm.
But so when recently did you start taking it a bit more serious and consistently, as opposed to I'm just dabbling? When did you decide to move past the dabble phase?
Right. So actually, I was in the dabble phase for quite a while. The dabble phase first consisted of just me with a phone and Apple earbuds. I would play the beat on my Chromebook and then have the lyrics on my phone as I was recording. And that was the way I would make my songs. Then I found out about iMovie, which was actually my first experience in mixing. I would download the beat on iMovie and then record a voiceover of the lyrics, and I would like change the volume and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I was like not very serious back then. I was just having fun. And then I got introduced to a program. No, I got referred to a program called Grip Tape. And what Grip Tape does is they lend money to people who want to pursue their passions and have like, big dreams that they want to pursue. And I applied for it. I applied for my music, obviously. And I was like, hey, I'd really like to start taking this seriously. I don't know if it would go well or not, but, I asked for a grant and they gave me $500 for my music. Yeah. They gave me $500 for my music. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And I worked with someone from the program, and they helped me, make some songs. They gave me some tips on song making.
Grip Tape. I'm gonna have to do this.
They're
gonna use this in one of their ads.
They're going to, yes, they're going to. What's it called? There's an application. Like, you can apply for literally anything. If your passion is like making water bottles, I don't know, you can apply. And if you have a compelling enough story or compelling enough argument, GRIP.
Yeah.
And then tape. And then .org, not .com. So if you could find that, they give grants to people to pursue their passions. And did you find it yet or not?
Yeah, dude, this is dope.
You did?
Man.
Yeah, bro.
Give me that.
It was real quick too. It took 5 minutes to apply. Literally, I was just like, I want to do music. Here's what I want to achieve. Here's where I'm at, and here's what I want. And they said,
what do
cool.
They expect from you in return?
In return, I just had to, for like 2 months, I met with someone with the program every week, and they just helped me on my. It was all over Zoom. I don't know how it would be in a non.
Is it like a
pandemic sitting.
non-profit? Like, this is dope, bro. Like,
Yeah.
this is like,
Actually, wait, no, this was before the pandemic, so I guess it would all ever Zoom anyways. Because I did this last February, so it was before the pandemic.
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
applied for it, and all I had to do was just for 2 months, I was
Okay,
just
so
on
what was
Zooms.
your choice? Did you get like FL? Did you start like mixing on your own? Like, what software did you eventually start using for all
Right.
this?
So once I got the money, I used it towards a MacBook right here. There's a mic. I don't know if it's in frame, but my actual music
You got
area is
that. You
over
got
there.
that arm.
I do, yeah. It's actually over there. I don't know if you can see it,
I
but
can see it. Yeah.
yeah. So I got a Yeti mic, I got a MacBook, and the software I'm using, I literally typed in beat maker because at first I thought I was going to make some beats instead of just getting them off of YouTube. And I found something called Mixpad, and I started using Mixpad on my MacBook. It was really, really easy. There's a pro version for like 150. I'm not paying 150 for the extra effects and stuff it offers, but it's real easy. It's like completely user friendly. Just I can download the beats on there. You get like up to like 10 different tracks that you can like put your voice on or ad libs or something like that. So yeah, I just started using that, and it's been working for me so far. And a lot of people were like, "Oh, what do you use to mix your songs and stuff like that?" And I told them, and they said that it's been really good for them.
Yeah.
So
Did you have FL Studio, or are you gonna get that one day, or
no,
no?
um, I can look into it, but right now Mixpad has been working wonders for me. Right now, it has everything that I really need outside of just certain effects. Like I can't use echo without having Mixpad Pro, and I can't use like a gunshot. What's it called? I can't use a gunshot sound effect without Mixpad Pro. Like dumb stuff like that.
Yeah, but
It's like
I'm like, I definitely like. I know a lot of people that don't use FL, but like a lot of people
is it
use
good?
that. It's so fun to use, and like you just get to do. I've used 17 different types of percussion on one beat, like so
Mm.
like but it's definitely like it's fun and you can make a lot of stuff with the stock stuff, but like eventually you got to move on to like buying Omnisphere or another VST or Electrax or Nexus or something instead of using Autogun, and these are just plugins that you can use to like different synthesizers. But I've been
Mm.
able to make a lot of good stuff with just the main pro version of FL. But there is
Well,
also Ableton and Logic, and
I heard a Logic. Yeah.
yeah, Logic is like if you have a Mac, that's what you gotta
Mm.
use.
Yeah.
I don't have the luxury of having a Mac, but a lot of people love FL that like have Macs or just like use like I know people that have Ableton, Logic, and FL at the same time, and they use
Mm.
things for different. Like they'll use FL to make beats, but they use Logic to mix, or they use Ableton to mix, or one of the. You know what I mean? Like in
Hmm. Well, that's the thing. I actually don't want to make beats at this stage in my music journey, and so like I'm pretty satisfied with either using type beats, or I had someone reach out to me on SoundCloud after I posted my first EP, and his name is Young Nab. He hooked me up with a deal. He gave me 106 beats for $30,
Yeah,
and
I think
so
you can. I think I don't dislike people that use type beats. I just have a problem with people that use type beats that don't buy the beats because that shit pisses me the fuck off. And I've had to cut myself off of affiliating with some people that use type beats that don't buy the rights to them. So like I don't. This is a very straightforward question, but like you do you agree with me that like people that like don't buy the rights to beats are kind of fucked up? And do you buy all the rights to your beats?
I plead the fifth.
I'll plead the fifth. Damn.
Look,
Nah, I don't care.
listen,
Not everybody
listen.
has to, whatever, but
Nah, 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 nah. You can't take it back now. I no,
I
I
can't. I'm
do.
not
What's it
taking it
called?
back. I'm just saying like not everybody has like, you know what I mean? Like not everybody knows what the fuck they're doing, but whatever.
No, because like I know, like people told me like you should like buy the beats and stuff like that. But like when I was just starting off, it's like I'm so underground and under the radar at this point to where me paying like because some of the beats that I get, watch me get canceled for this. I'm about to have FBI at my door tomorrow. But some of the beats that I use are from like really big producers that charge like 250 for a beat. And for
Oh
someone
yeah,
like me
whatever,
who's
whatever.
like
Yeah, like
for
Cash Money
someone like me
AP or
who's
something.
literally exactly for someone like me who's literally just starting, and doesn't have that strong of a fan base, for me to pay $250 to get like 250 streams is like kind of not worth it in my opinion.
That's why like, and I'm just trying to point this out to a lot of younger artists or something like that, is collaborate with smaller producers more, because you get to talk with them, you get to communicate with them more, and it's a very more transparent interaction, and you get to request more shit. You get to be like, hey, turn down that sound right there, turn down that snare. Maybe instead of a snare, use a clap or something, or maybe use a reverse clap on that part or something like that.
That's what I learned later on. Like after I started, once Young Nav hit me up, I think he has like 1,000 followers or something like that. Like not even like 500.
And I'm saying like situations like Young Nav, whatever it is, good situations that artists should look for.
Right, and that's where I'm gonna take my music journey from here. I have 106 beats to work with. That's good. That's good. If I wanted to use that,
you should just do a collaboration album with them.
Right, I could. Like 106 beats, that's like 10 albums maybe or something like that. Like if I wanted to use every single one of his beats. And so I'm definitely taking that route from now. Like, because I have $30 worth of beats that I can use and I have the rights to, and I don't have to use type beats anymore and try and mimic other artists' style. I can find my own style.
Even though I just kind of recommended doing a collaboration album with him, but I love producer collaboration albums. You know what I mean? Some of those examples are, Freddie Gibbs and Madlib's Pinata. They could those examples of that could be Lil Peep and Nadarb's California Girls. But what I want to ask you, are you a fan? What producer and rapper collaboration albums are you a huge fan of? Or combos. It doesn't have to be just an album, but like producers and rappers that are known for collaborating a lot together. Do not say Kanye.
This is kind of like broad, but I feel like every single time I hear Metro Boomin on the beat, it's always a banger. And also, like, I don't know any specific artist he's like heavily collabing with, but just whenever I hear Metro Boomin, it's just like I'm tuning in immediately.
I think we could put in there 21 Savage and Metro, because they've literally done collaboration albums. So I mean, let's just throw that in there as a result.
And I learned this recently that I think Usher produces a lot of songs actually, and I didn't know that before. But like a lot of the songs I enjoy, he actually produced.
No.
And so
did you see the thing where he was like throwing fake money at strippers that like had his face
on it? The Usher money.
I'm not saying fuck Usher. Like that shows me that Usher has a good sense of humor. Like, I would encourage rappers to do that.
Got it.
Because they're already
Usher
getting paid hourly.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, like, Usher is not the only person attending a strip club. So, they're obviously going to be...
It's not like they're going broke from Usher. Throwing Usher bills to everybody.
That's 1 out of 100 that comes... 100 used car dealers...
100 on a bad day.
100 used car dealership owners or something from Texas on their vacations in Vegas, whose first name is either Bill or Jeff, that attend that strip club. So, there's 2 people that you find in a strip club, and that's rappers and used car dealership salesmen. That is a broad, incorrect statement, but I'm just saying that because I can.
Still thinking about the Usher bills right now.
Let's see what else we could talk about. Usher has those hits that are so memorable, but they do bring me back to the Black Eyed Peas era. Like, what artists from that 2007 to 2011 pop artists that nobody listens to now do you enjoy? You could say Kesha, you could say Black Eyed Peas, you could say Jay Sean. Who is that to you?
Hold up. Wait, isn't his name Neo?
Yes, you're right.
Neo.
That is.
Yeah.
Dude, what did he do? Oh my, and I'm not gonna remember the name of the song, but as soon as I hear the first 3 seconds, Neo.
Right. I think it is Neo.
Oh, he did a song with Pitbull then. Missing the Pimp.
He did? Oh, yeah. Like songs like that, I feel like a lot of people just like don't listen to anymore.
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, and Pitbull too is another example of that. But like Pitbull's like Akon, where he's got that so much money, man. Like, and I love Pitbull. And remember that where he's like that hotel, and then
Yeah.
Fireball, like dude, this shit. And a lot of people like look down on those like big pop stars that they listen to when they were a kid, but they don't know that if they're like listening to some either underground or somebody that they think is more complex, they don't know and they don't give credit to the fact that those huge pop hits are the one that originally got them into music in the first place. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
because when all you do is all you're doing is consuming the radio and the late night TV shows, and you're getting presented to this industry pushed robotic person who answers the same questions to every interview question. Like, I got my start because one time I did a show and then a manager showed up and they said, "Oh, your music's so great," and then the manager put me on the right path. And I used to be very poor. I used to be, like nobody wants, but
Your generic rapper or generic artist impression is very good, but continue.
yeah. So like, once they're done like going through that rabbit hole, they start to figure out either who that person was inspired by, and they start to go down the rabbit hole of like who this one huge person was influenced by, and they start to like become way more interested in music. But I feel like what a lot of people got to do is say, hey, I love this person that was huge because they got me into it to learn more about complex stuff. Like, who was the first artist that you listened to, like, that really sort of put you down? Like, what artist was the first artist that you listened to that got you into music? Not making it, but like, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking like when you're 5 years old or some shit. You know what I mean?
Beyonce.
Yes. Oh
Beyonce. Just like music in general. Dude. After like I heard some of those like classic Beyonce songs as a kid, and Alicia Keys. Yes, bro. Oh my gosh, Alicia Keys and Beyonce were like, I don't know what it was. It was just those songs growing up. I was like, ooh, I was like feeling it in the car when my mom would play it, and just like that got me into music in general. And then I obviously found out about rap and stuff later. But I've always enjoyed music. I have earbuds in wherever I go.
Speaking on Beyonce, a lot of people probably know about, but not a lot of people. They do got to check out her sister, Solange. You know what I'm talking about?
I didn't even know she had a sister. What the heck?
Solange, she's done tracks with Tyler, the Creator, Lil Wayne, but she is fantastic. She
I'll have to check her out.
I think if you're gonna check out anything from her, I think you should check out, because obviously this is going to be someone you're familiar with on this track, would be the song Mad with Lil Wayne. That's when Lil Wayne confesses on the track that he tried to commit suicide when he was like a kid, when he was like real kid. Because every interview when somebody asks about like his relationship with the police or some shit like that, because he has a lot of controversial opinions that not a lot of people agree with when it comes to the police. But anyways, he would always say like, when I was a kid I had an accident with a gun, and then the police showed up and they took me to the hospital and stuff like that, right? So then eventually in the song he realized that he was like, I'm not famous, so I'm going to kill myself or some shit. And he like shot himself. And that's one of those powerful songs. It's called Mad, and it's featuring Lil Wayne by Solange. Definitely would check that out. And also Solange is on, as much as I hate this, I don't hate this album, but I just think it's overrated. Igor, she's on that song. She's on that album. She does some guest vocals.
I feel like I must have heard her.
I think it's the "A Boy Is a Gun" track that she's on. I could be wrong. Maybe I forget.
I probably just didn't make the connection that she was Beyonce's sister. Like I feel like I've heard at least one of her songs.
She did
like there's no way I haven't.
Cranes in the sky.
Hold up. That sounds familiar.
Levels. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh.
I'm gonna play the first couple of seconds of
I was about to say, please.
Dude, this shit slaps right
Oh,
here.
crap. I hate when I don't immediately just like know a song.
Oh my god. You want me to skip to like when she starts singing?
Yeah.
Alright, let me skip to the hook.
That sounds familiar.
Hold on, let me
Got it.
All right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dude, this is
See, look again. Like I didn't make the connection, and it was like Beyonce's sister, but I've
like,
definitely heard those types of songs.
oh yeah, like she's had a couple of albums and stuff like that, but they were like you can tell someone's first like no one's first album is gonna be great, but then in 2016 or whenever that project came out, I'm pretty sure it's 2016. She really came into her own. A lot of critics really enjoyed it. You know, especially me, because I'm a critic. But so yeah, like I just first albums, man, they just not like first mixtapes, because the first mixtapes are usually better than the first album. You know, those loosey little mixtapes dropped when the artist was like had barely any money. But what I hate, not really what I hate, is like when an artist gets signed and they do that one album and they're like, oh, I'm signed now and I have access to a bunch of features, okay? So right. I'm going to do a bunch of shitty throwaway feature tracks and put them on my album so I get a bunch of first week sales. The only person who's done that and made a really good album, like a good debut album, would be like Drake, you know what I mean? Or we go off a lot of people who've had longevity after their first album, but I feel like a new example of a failure of that instance is 24K Golden's El Dorado. I don't know. I'm always talking shit on 24K Golden because his first mixtape was very good. But what's a disappointing project by an artist that you really enjoy?
I definitely had someone in mind before this. Oof. I think I want to say Quedeca, but there's gonna be another person. I'm sorry, because I don't want to keep bringing him up. But Quedeca, he made a new album, and it's like top 3 on Spotify right now, and I just didn't like a single thing about it. And also Joji, I liked a few songs on the new album.
Nectar,
right.
I
liked a few ones. Like I think I have like 2 or 3 on the playlist, but the rest of them I just didn't find myself enjoying.
I'm gonna keep it stacked. I like it because that's the first Joji track I heard, so that's why I like that, because I was ignorant.
I like ballads better, but
yeah. Joji's fire though, and like
he is,
and I'm glad that he's like been able to move past his Filthy Frank days.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
And I used to be a kid.
I watched him all the time.
You might even remember that, but like in the middle of class, like I just blast some random Filthy Frank video just to piss people off.
Oh my gosh, I remember a lot of people do that. It might have been you, and I didn't realize. But Filthy Frank, I used to watch him too.
I would just pull up like the "It's Time to Stop" videos, and I would just blast them. I used to just blast like a bunch of memes in class because I was just like I was a little degenerate, like. But we all we weren't all degenerates.
The majority of us were.
But like,
you can say that.
Yeah, dude, I used to. Yeah, so it's good to see that he's moved on to serious art, but and I just hope that people who watch Filthy Frank realize, like, hey, Filthy Frank is an example of what not to be as a human. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's an example.
In the time when he got popular, it was definitely like, everybody was like, hey, but like now it's like, like you said, I like the path he's taking right now.
Yeah, it's a good lane for him, and he's like someone who's like, I love multimedia people who are able to do different types of art forms and like actually, go good places with that. Like, let me think of another example. Quedeca could be that because he did YouTube stuff before, but I don't listen to him. Let me think of an example of who I listen to that's done that. I don't know.
I figured out my other example. My friend Kayla put me on the MGK. Actually, no, I'm not going to say put me on.
Sure, that's a good example.
She put me back on to MGK because I listened to more of his like rappy type stuff that he would make like on YouTube, obviously. Like back when it was like the whole what's his name? It's some other guy. I don't know. He has dreads. That's all I know about him. Anyways,
Yeah.
there was beef between him and someone else, but she put me back on the MGK, and I listened to a few songs by him, and I did like some of them, but in comparison to what he did before, I don't know. All the songs kind of sounded like a little similar to each other, and just like the overall album, like I like the approach he's taking, just in general, of him changing his whole style.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna change your style, then within that new style, there needs to be a little bit of variety. Like I was talking about before, variety is key in my opinion. You can't have like I should be able to click through your album and hear the same type of, BPM, same type of guitar strings or whatever throughout the entire thing. Like I should be changing the way I, bob my head throughout the whole course of the album. So MGK is definitely another example of someone who I was a little bit disappointed with, but overall, I still enjoy some of the songs.
Yeah, man.
That's the one that was on my mind coming in here. I was like, I'm going to talk about MGK.
Yeah, MGK is like, I know a lot of people that like mess with his like newer stuff, but like, if I see an artist, and a lot of people aren't gonna like this, they hear it, but if I see an artist, if I see one more artist that says, I make all types of music, and you kind of said this earlier, but you're at least making it in an interesting way that a lot of people can resonate with. But if I see one person say, I'm a rapper, but I'm also a rock star, and I'm going to make rock-influenced rap music, and I'm unique because I'm doing rock-influenced rap music. Sorry, kid, you're not. You can't just pick a track with guitar loops and that have drums over it and make a bunch of fucking, tracks that are just like, they have some guitar loop and the same the spins 808s, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so annoying that these kids think that they're unique and they need to like actually form a craft. And that's why I'd advise every rapper to either find a producer that you know personally that can do stuff for you, or that you want them to change their sound up or to fit your needs, or get your own, learn your own production skills and craft your own stuff on your own as a producer. It's one or the other. You can't just like, and maybe people can do this, but like it's the thing like the Polo G piano beats. Like those keep me up at night, Like, the fact that people still listen to that and it gets 2 million streams. Like, oh my god, Polo G.
I never really got into Polo G. Like there's a couple songs I was like, all right, like the more mainstream ones, but other than that, I never dive deep.
It just has no soul to it,
Mm.
I need stuff that has soul. I need stuff that has clear effort in every aspect.
Scoochie's the right place.
Exactly.
Yes.
And, exactly, man. Exactly.
That's what I'm striving for.
Before we wrap this up, what would you like to announce relating to your music or content that you have going up?
First and foremost, I'm definitely going to be asking for some song reviews in the near future. I feel like my lyrics have a lot of analysis to be done, and what I want to announce or what I want to mention is just that for anybody who wants to listen to my music, be in a quiet environment and be in a very engaged mindset, because my lyrics, it's not just something, some of the songs it's just you can sit back and listen to, like more like Sensations or Roses or some of those songs, but the other songs like Temptation, Two Homes, like Work in Silence, if you actually take the time to listen to the lyrics, you'll realize even though my production is that of a garbage SoundCloud rapper in their garage right now at the moment, because I'm doing everything myself, if you take the time to look at the lyrics, you'll realize I'm on caliber. I'm not boosting my own ego. I believe I am on caliber with some of the top lyricists in terms of the content that I, rap about and the topics I dive into. And so for my music, I put out 2 EPs so far, 10 songs total. I hit 1,000 streams on SoundCloud and Apple Music about like a week ago. And on SoundCloud, I'm at like 800 streams. And so new album coming probably over the summer. Like I said, I'm going to take this one a little bit more serious. I'm going to have some features, probably like Brendan and this girl Cameron at my church. She said she wanted to hop on a song and do some female vocals, because that's the thing I'm lacking in my songs. I don't have anybody to do female vocals in songs that really do need female vocals. And yeah, Harris. Do you know Harris? I forget his last name, but Harris said he's gonna be doing some album art for me.
Okay.
Or cover art. And so, like I said, it's gonna be called Perfect 10. That's what the album's gonna be called. It's gonna have 10 songs on it, and it's gonna be a banger. And anybody who hasn't listened to my songs, Scoochie on SoundCloud or Spotify. What I wanted to mention before we started was there's this guy named Scoochie Boochie on SoundCloud, on Spotify, on everything, and it got on my nerves because when you typed in Scoochie, his name came up before mine. And that was the one thing I was trying to change. And I finally, like 2 weeks ago, got it to the point where you type in Scoochie, my name comes up first. So that's just a little thing
How does that
that
work?
I guess it just filters it based off of like the most viewed artist, or the most like
Oh,
the
you
artist
got
that
it
has the
over
most
him.
streams. I did.
Let's
I think
go.
he had like 1,000 monthly listeners, like 100 monthly listeners or something like that. So I'm like, dang, I'm never gonna pass him. But I guess since my songs have been taking off so much recently, I guess like the way the algorithm is, I guess it placed me over him because he might be like dying off or something. I don't know. But yeah, when you type in Scoochie, I'm the first one that comes up on SoundCloud, Apple Music, Spotify. And if you search and scroll far enough, right, big dubs, big dubs. If you scroll far enough, you can find my picture on Google if you type in Scoochie. And so the last goal and the last wish I have is for a Scoochie type beat to come out soon. So any Has Discuss producers out there that want to make a Scoochie type beat after you listen to my songs, tag me. I'd be glad to collab on any beats. I have a very large variety.
Of course, of course.
So that's it.
So any producers listening, look at his music, see if you can emulate
Right.
some of that heat. Links in the description to social media and Linktree and Spotify and all of that jazz and SoundCloud and all of that. And thanks for anybody watching. And thank you, Scoochie, for joining the show.
Anytime.
All right.
Thank you.
Stick around after. And Scoochie, stick around after. And then goodbye, audience. Leave a rating on Apple Podcasts or like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And support the Patreon when we have 10 patrons. We're at 6 right now. When we have 10 patrons, I'll be doing a giveaway and potentially starting a patron-only show on there.
Ooh.
Goodbye.